man, it just sounds like somebody just like hit a beehive with a baseball bat. That's what this sounds like to me, and it's like, I don't know what you're
might be a compliment. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what that sounds.
Hey everyone, I'm Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now. Adam Jarvis is the drummer of Pit Destroyer, Misery Index. He joined Lockup and also is part of the supergroup SCOUR. The singer in the band is Philip Anselmo, that obviously everybody knows from Pantera. SCOUR released the Black EP, which is one of the best extreme metal EPs of the year. And to talk about that EP, but also all the other projects that he is juggling, I sat down with Adam.
Adam, thank you so much for your time today. I very much appreciate it. There's a new SCOUR release. There's also a relatively new Big Destroyer release. There's a newish Misery Index release not too long ago. You joined Lockup as well. So my first question is obviously, when do you sleep?
I don't ever, really. I got 4 hours of sleep last night because I also got a full-time job. So it's, obviously this day and age, of course, not touring as much. So, got plenty of time to work on, each specific project, give it enough attention. And, that's been the main thing for all this is a lot of writing and stuff, and obviously SCOUR just released the Black EP, which I got to say, it wasn't really... we didn't even really know that it was going to get released this year until I think 2 months before the release date, literally. So it was just like, they just hammered it home, like, let's do it. The drums have been recorded since like 2018, and I heard maybe 3 of the songs before, like a week before going down to Phil's house to record. We actually went down to Phil's house for his a big birthday bash, his 50th birthday that his wife threw, Kate, and it was amazing. It was like the party to end all parties, and crazy fireworks, and it was just amazing. He awesome dude. So recorded the drums after all that was said and done, and I literally heard some of the songs like 2 days before tracking those drums. So some of the takes on the EP are literally like the one and only time that I actually ever even tried to play that section of the song.
Wow.
So
that's interesting.
Because there's like, I'm learning a lot of it now, and started learning some of it like, earlier this year, the downtime and stuff. And I was just like, man, I had to go listen to the isolated drum tracks just to see like, exactly what I was doing on some of the parts. And I was like, wow, like it's crazy. Like some of this stuff is just like, literally I recorded it once and then was like, that sounded pretty good, right? And, like it's ripping, go to the next part, so.
You do a lot of different bands. I didn't even mention all of them before. That means, I assume, also for you, a lot of practicing. But is it then a very weird experience for you to be told, like, okay, now just play this part and move on?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of fun that way. It's there's definitely some spontaneity that just whatever comes out, you just kind of roll with it. It makes it a little bit more fun instead of just like, all right, you have to play it this way kind of thing. And definitely a lot of practice usually goes into it, and I wanted to be more prepared for this EP, but it just didn't happen that way, but honestly, now that I think about it, that was the same year I just got done recording the new Misery Index album. So that's why I think whenever they originally asked me like, hey, you think we could make this happen while we're down at Phil's for his birthday? You could record the Black EP. And I'm like, dude, like I'm literally going to be in the studio with Rutan. I was down in Florida and was there for like 3 weeks, and I was like, obviously I'm not going to have time to practice this because it's going to be like record this Misery Index full length album. And then like, I'm going to like have like a week and then, fly to Louisiana, and I was just like, I'm not going to make any promises, but we'll see what happens. It was basically like that. And I'm one of those guys where like, I'll be straight up with whatever project that I'm in. If I don't feel prepared enough for something, I'll be the first one to be like, hey, I need some more time. Like I guess try to act professional kind of thing. But, cause you gotta be, I mean, it's extreme stuff. It's very demanding and physically challenging,
sure.
Being a drummer. Obviously got to remember a lot of drum beats up in the old noggin up here. So.
Compared to the previous two EPs, on the Black EP, the drums are much more front and center in the mix than for example, the Red EP.
Yeah, definitely. They were a little buried on the Red EP.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll come on and I'm just like, eh. But what are you going to do at this point? It's out. All around, with everybody, the playing, a lot of the guitar riffs are, really catchy. Like after you listen to it a couple of times, you'll Phil's vocals are guttural, like more guttural than ever, and he enunciates stuff so well. It's crazy. Like you can pick out, almost an entire song without even looking at the lyric sheet, which can't really say that for a lot of, bands or a lot of vocalists, but, yeah, we're definitely happy with the way it turned out. I know, everybody, you're not going to please everybody. So, I tend to try not to read comments, but sometimes you're just curious,
not to. Sure.
Like most people think that Jason Momoa sings as the vocalist for SCOUR. They don't even know that Phil's in it, and there's that guy that you got to worry about, Whoa, I didn't know Jason Momoa had a band. It's like he did a line in a song. Like, do some research. Jeez. And you know who Phil Anselmo is by chance? Like, gee, come on.
Let's be honest, SCOUR, it's extreme music, any way you want to look at it, but maybe not every song, but I'm gonna say specifically songs like Flames or Propaganda have more of a there's a melody there that that some people might not expect from if you read about the band at first. Is that something that for you is also really important? I mean, drummer at the end of the day, you're the beating heart of literally the beating heart of a band. Like bringing this melody to extreme music, is that something that is really important to you?
I mean, with any band that I'm in, it's always about the guitar riff and the melody, first. I think that's like, and then obviously what I do, I want to make the riff shine, and I've gotten better with that over the years,
Okay.
Of course, just, I guess progressing and just, evolving as a musician and, working together with, especially with so many different musicians and I'm in so many different bands, and it's like every band's different, every player's different, but for the Black EP, definitely there's a lot more like melody and not just straight rip and blast, which I appreciate because it's very taxing.
Depending on who's reviewing your album, they're gonna call you a black metal band, a death metal band, a black death band, a black and groove band. For you, like, what's the music that, like, how would you describe the music of SCOUR?
I guess it's on kind of like that fine line of, I guess you could say, blackened death metal almost, because it's definitely not straight up black metal is in a sense of the like corpse paint and
The Norwegian bands from the early 90s,
yeah, recording in the middle of a forest, during a blizzard kind of thing. But
crab walking.
Which, hey, that's awesome if anybody's ever done. But yeah, it's definitely kind of got its own unique formula in a way, and that's Derek's the main songwriter, and he's had a lot of these ideas for years, and it just kind of whatever comes out, and he said he'll like write a whole song almost in his head and then sit down and actually like bring it to life, and he's like, wow, okay, wasn't expecting it to be this. That's the fun part about writing. You have this idea and somewhat of a vision, but when you finally hear the final product, and with whatever, especially you're not expecting what Phil's going to do on the vocals, and we never do. And then like I remember getting the text from Derek, and he like forwarded something that Phil, and he's like gonna crush the Black EP vocals tomorrow or something just like that, and we were all like, what?
With many supergroups out there, people tend to focus more on who's in it versus what is the music coming out of it. You said it before, people going like, oh, this is Jason Momoa's band because he is a guest on the album. How do you experience that? Because you've got not just Derek and Phil and yourself, John, but also you've got Pat on the record, you've got Jason Momoa on the record, and a lot of these people, some people more than others, not in the least Phil, are, let's call them, colorful characters that have been sometimes for very positive things and also sometimes for less positive things, getting a lot of attention. It is going to happen that people focus more on the individuals versus on really what is the outcome. How do you deal with that? Because I know that you're so passionate about it, and then you get a review about somebody talking about how cool this new Jason Momoa's band is. Nothing against Jason Momoa, but how do you experience that as a musician?
You just try not to let certain things get to you. Like you said, they could just see one person in the band and just immediately just throw it under the bus and be like, I'm not, screw this band, I'm never going to even check it out, that guy's in it, or, and it's, I guess you just really can't let that kind of stuff get to you, and, there's always going to be haters, and, they don't know you personally, you don't know them personally, and I guarantee if they saw you to your face, they wouldn't say half the shit that they say behind the computer screen and comment on YouTube and whatever else, and the blabbermouths of the world. It's just like cyber waste.
Some people may not know that the Black EP is, unless I'm mistaken, the final piece in the trilogy of the Gray, the Red, and the Black EP. Are you then already thinking about what is next for the band? You said you're writing a lot. What are you guys thinking now that this trilogy is completed?
Derek and my cousin John kind of came up with this idea, and I don't want to say that it's it's one of those things where you maybe drunkenly talk about it one night, and then actually end up doing it, and it's like, whoa, we actually did that. That's awesome, and maybe a little ridiculous, but they wanted to do, each EP has 6 tracks, so then you do 3 of them, so then it's the 666. Evil and darkness, black metal, but it's. So that was kind of what he wanted to do, and do the 3 EPs and then a full-length album. So that's the plan. I guess now that the EP trilogy is over, and that's closed that chapter, and now it's because everybody's constantly like, when are you guys gonna do a full length? Come on, we want a full length. And so I know Derek's got quite a few ideas.
Okay.
You know, steaming in a pot. You know, you just got to keep adding the spices to it. Looking forward to hearing what he's got. You know, hopefully have a little bit more time to prepare for it this time.
Well, I mean, if they want to make you do a whole album in one go, then hopefully they do give you at least 4 days notice now instead of just 2.
Yeah, exactly. At least. And recorded in 3 hours.
When we're recording this, it's now 2-3 days since in Europe at least they've started administering vaccines. So hopefully we'll see some changes in touring schedules. I don't know how you're going to be able to tour with all your projects or all your bands, and I'm sure people will start fighting over who can have you in their lineup. But I look forward to having you on the road again, and hopefully one of your projects can come up here to Toronto again and see some of the new music live, because that would be really cool. I think everybody's waiting for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Always love playing in Canada, and Toronto, especially, in Montreal, Quebec City. You know, Misery Index has played a lot of shows up there. So I've actually played in Newfoundland. You know,
oh wow, yeah,
which is crazy. Twice, 2 different times.
I hope that was not in the winter.
No, I don't think it was.
Good.
Actually, one time it might have been.
You would remember if it was.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Thank you for your time. I had a blast. I hope you had a good time as well. And looking forward to the next album that you're releasing, which at your pace, I assume will be next week.
Probably.
You are awesome for watching this interview. Click right here to see more content and like it, and subscribe to the channel.